The Grady County Sheriff's Office has been busy following another drug bust.
We have worked with other agencies, including the Carroll Police Department, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and we will continue to do so because, again, we're trying to tackle this drug problem.
While law enforcement says they are on a mission to clean up the streets. A historic building in Tallahassee is gone. What we know about the fire that destroyed the Beetle House. And 2 colleges are coming together to slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease. How the Mayo Clinic is helping them help others.
This is your Fox 49 News at 10.
Good evening. Tonight, a new drug bust in South Georgia is getting narcotics off the street and putting suspects in jail. Law enforcement in Grady County say they've been very successful recently with drug busts in the last few weeks. Fox 49's James Hill went to Cairo to learn about this latest success and how it fits into a trend of snuffing out drug operations in the area. Now, James, what kind of drugs did law enforcement find this time around?
Hi, Melanie. According to the Grady County Sheriff's Department, deputies found 67 grams of methamphetamine.
The Grady County Sheriff's Department seems to be on one heck of a run these days. With more than a few drug operations under their belt recently, Grady County deputies made one more successful bust over the weekend. They took this big pile of meth, 67 grams in all, off the streets and arrested Alfredo Zuniga Jr. for having it. Tonight, Zuniga Jr. faces 1 count of trafficking methamphetamine, a felony, and also 1 count of possession of a drug-related object, a misdemeanor. And while some of the department's recent success came in collaboration with other agencies, this bust was all Grady County's.
That was an investigation. That was a search warrant that was done by the Grady County Sheriff's Office. However, we have worked with other agencies, including the Carroll Police Department, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and we will continue to do so because, again, we're trying to tackle this drug problem.
Bradshaw says the drug problem here is both local and from out of town. For instance, Zuniga Jr. is a longtime Grady County resident, but he also says there are plenty of narcotics passing through from out of town.
I would say it's a little bit of both. We have some that's, coming in from Florida. We also have some that's coming in from the Atlanta area, and we're just, we're continuing to be proactive and try to get a handle on the drug activity that's going on here in Grady County.
Drug activity, which landed several suspects behind bars in the last few weeks in Grady County's ongoing effort to clean up the streets.
Now, Grady County authorities say they won't stop until they rid their county of illegal drugs. Live in the newsroom, James Hill, your Fox 49 News.
A historic building on Tall Timbers is now gone after a fire earlier this morning. Firefighters say the structure, built in the late 1800s, was destroyed after flames quickly spread through the roof and the attic. Fox 49's Jayla Howard visited the scene today where only smoke and debris remained.
According to the Tallahassee Fire Department, a lightning strike is believed to have started the fire at the Beetle House on Tall Timbers property, a smoldering pile of ash. Just after 7 o'clock this morning, crews with Tallahassee Fire Department responded to reports of a fire on Henry Beetle Drive. The building, known as the Beetle House, was on fire. The historic structure was originally built in 1895 on the Tall Timbers Research Station and Land Conservancy property. After arriving, firefighters saw flames coming from the roof of the building. Those flames spread quickly, causing the second floor of the building to collapse. According to the TFD, the rapid spread of the fire turned the structure into a total loss. Multiple agencies responded to the fire, including the Bradfordville Volunteer Fire and Rescue. In a statement, the department said in part, "This was a challenging fire involving a cherished historic structure, and we are grateful for the strong coordination among responding agencies for difficult conditions." There are reports of one firefighter suffering minor injuries and taken to a hospital for evaluation. Although not much remains, fire crews say they were able to remove and preserve several of the historic antiques and items within the building. In a Facebook post, Bill Palmer, the CEO and president of Tall Timber, says, "We will press forward and continue to further our mission of conservation and ecological health." I reached out to the Tallahassee Fire Department and Tall Timbers for more information, but did not hear back. In Tallahassee, Jayla Howard, your Fox 49 News.
Bradfordville Fire and Rescue say they are feeling the loss of the Beetle House, and they are proud of the dedication shown by all firefighters on scene. Now, thankfully, no one was significantly hurt in that fire, but it is a reminder of just how powerful lightning strikes can be. I'll hand it over now to our very own Chief Meteorologist, Alan Strum. Now, Alan, are we expecting any more lightning or any storms coming our way?
No, that was earlier today, and I mean, those storms were pretty ferocious. Now we've had a big turn in our weather. All dry, no lightning showing up. Here you can see our weather maker now stretches off the eastern seaboard and then up toward the northeast. Still some alerts there around the mid-Atlantic region. And on this map, the green would be rain, and then it turns over to the blue, which is snow. And whether you see the darker blues on the map, that's heavy snow. It's coming down pretty good there as you look at some of those areas up toward the north. But it's cooling down, I mean, dramatically. Yesterday, so different than what we're seeing today. It's mid 40s around Tallahassee right now. You know, some areas farther south, upper 40s, but it's just a cool night. And as we head through the rest of the overnight hours, it's going to be pretty chilly. Now, we should be just above the freezing mark, but not by much. I mean, we're talking low temperatures here tomorrow morning in the mid 30s.
Help for those with Alzheimer's may be closer than you think. In fact, it could come from Tallahassee. Researchers at FAMU and FSU are working with one of the nation's leading medical institutions in breaking the code of Alzheimer's disease, the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. Fox 49's Courtney Dualaby shows us how their work could help millions.
The FAMU FSU College of Engineering is collaborating with the Mayo Clinic to study new treatments that could one day slow the progression of the disease.
Stem cells is more like the embryonic stage. They are very like baby stage. So those particles send information to the brain, and we want to make sure brain receive the signal. They slow down their aging process.
The team is studying Alzheimer's using lab-grown brain models known as organoids, which allow researchers to recreate parts of the human brain in a laboratory setting. By combining those models with immune cells found in the brain, scientists can better observe how the disease develops and test possible treatments. Graduate students involved in the project call the collaboration a rare opportunity for this kind of hands-on experience.
Being able to work with Mayo Clinic and the resources they have, being able to provide us with not only cells and patient-specific media and things like that, they've also been able to provide the expertise of the doctors and the other clinics that work with themselves, because they do both front-end and patient-focused work as well as back-end research.
While the research happening in Tallahassee could help shape future treatments, families living with Alzheimer's are already facing the realities of the disease every day. According to global statistics, in 2025, an estimated 6.9 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's disease, a number expected to nearly double by 2060. Organizations like the Alzheimer's Project work to support caregivers and families navigating those challenges.
I think it's the stress, it's the emotional burden of this, it's the uncertainty and not having assurance of what the next day or even the next hour may bring.
While research like this could take years, experts say families can still find joy in recognizing the person who is still there. In Tallahassee, I'm Courtney Dualaby, your Fox 49 News.
Experts say education and research remain critical as families continue to navigate through Alzheimer's. Now, there is some debate tonight over whether a plan pushed by the Tallahassee airport can actually deliver what leaders hope it will. Airport officials say a proposal in the state budget could bring millions of dollars to Tallahassee International Airport. City leaders say the money would expand aviation training and help address a pilot shortage. But Fox 49's Nick Carmia reports some in the industry say the real challenge may be the cost of becoming a pilot.
The city of Tallahassee is asking lawmakers for about $2.2 million to expand their aviation training center at Tallahassee International Airport, a project that would serve students across North Florida.
City leaders say in their request the upgrades would expand training space and help prepare future pilots, but some wonder just how much demand there is for such a facility. Local flight school owner Sean Ratty calls the path to becoming a pilot long and expensive. To fly for most airlines, he says pilots must log 1,500 hours of flight time, often spending tens of thousands of dollars on training before they can even apply for a job.
There are a lot of pilots right now that have 1,500 hours and they cannot secure a job because the job market right now is very competitive.
Reddy says the industry also saw major shifts after the pandemic when many pilots were furloughed and others retired at the same time.
You do invest so much in your career. When you apply, you'll get a thank you but no thank you letter.
We contacted Tallahassee airport leaders to learn more about their plan, but we didn't hear anything back. In the meantime, Ratty says investing in airport infrastructure could benefit the local economy.
$2.27 million is a drop in the bucket. Aviation, anything aviation related is very expensive. It can only be a positive for us.
Now, lawmakers are still negotiating the state budget, which means the airport is competing against thousands of other funding requests across Florida. In Tallahassee, Nick Carmia, your Fox 49 News.
The legislature is hoping to finalize the state budget next month after failing to approve a funding proposal by the end of this year's 60-day session. Sinclair and DAV Disabled American Veterans hope you'll join us for Sinclair Care's DAV Community Impact Day. We're saying thank you for your service to American veterans through action. Scan the QR code on your screen to learn about volunteer opportunities or how to make a donation. Sinclair is kickstarting the campaign with a $25,000 donation to DAV. The nonprofit provides a lifetime of support for veterans of all generations. Do you know where your prescription drugs are made? Why senators from both sides are coming together to protect Americans from drugs they believe have major risks. That's in today's Spotlight on America, coming up.
You're watching your Fox 49 News at 10 with Melanie Levy and meteorologist Alan Strom.
For months, Spotlight on America has been exposing a little-known risk tied to foreign-made generic drugs, including manufacturers who are careless, dangerous, and shockingly unchecked. Now, amid growing scrutiny of the generic drug supply chain, two leading senators from opposite sides of the aisle are forming a united front to fix a problem that affects all of us. Lisa Fletcher reports.
Sure, you want the cheapest drug, but if it's made by somebody who could poison you tomorrow, do you really want to rely on that?
It's a risk our investigations have repeatedly uncovered. Millions of Americans rely on medications made overseas, primarily India and China, raising serious questions about quality.
This is how do we keep Americans safe, especially our seniors safe. That's what this is.
Fixing an unreliable drug supply system has become a rare bipartisan effort for Florida Republican Rick Scott and New York Democrat Kirsten Gillibrand.
It makes you mad.
Their first target? A bill requiring drug labels to show where medications are made, information patients don't currently get.
How would it actually work for patients when they go to the pharmacy counter? What would be different?
They would hopefully have access to a label. Where do the ingredients come from? Where was it manufactured? Can I trust that manufacturing facility? Does that manufacturing facility get oversight and accountability?
Right now, patients have no way of knowing. We reviewed hundreds of FDA inspection reports from Indian drug factories documenting falsified tests, contamination risks, and manufacturing failures.
We've talked to a lot of experts on this issue, and they love the country of origin labeling. But they think a missing element is that there's no quality metric embedded in that QR code that then tells people, based on these companies' history with the FDA, are they green, yellow, or red? Are they good history or bad history? Is including a quality metric something you would entertain as part of this?
Absolutely. Quality, anything else that would be helpful to Americans, we're always open to it, but we've got to get started.
Like changing how generic drugs are purchased, shifting production back to the United States, and rewriting a system that has long rewarded the lowest price above all else.
20 years ago, you asked any Fortune 500 CEO in America, and their opinion was, we need the lowest cost of all inputs for all things at all times. We have since learned that that is not good for America, and half of the world does not have your best interest in heart. You are screwed if anything happens.
Through the Senate Committee on Aging, they're pressuring federal agencies and industry to address weaknesses in the drug supply.
If you're serious about onshoring the manufacturing of generic drugs, what's it going to take to incentivize manufacturing here and really use that leverage to make the drug supply safer?
Well, there's a number of levers there that we have to use. We have a lot of buying power, and the DOD, the VA has massive buying power.
CMS?
Yep, CMS.
Pretty much every federal agency that can buy drugs, we've talked to, and we've been talking to them, and they're receptive.
But unless these agencies are forced to do it, the manufacturers that we've talked to, they're afraid that if they make the investment and these agencies are not directed to buy American first, that they're still going to go over to India because it's still about the bottom line. How do you account for that?
First off, the consumer is going to make it happen. The consumer is going to drive this. If the federal government does its job and is a big buyer, then it'll be very good for these companies.
For Spotlight on America, I'm Lisa Fletcher.
The senators say they hope to see meaningful change as soon as this year.
First warning weather. Here is Chief Meteorologist Alan Strunk.
After a stormy, rainy morning, all that is out of the area. Now the cold air has slid into place. You can see that this is a massive weather maker here stretching way up to the northeast. They're dealing with it there, still waiting on that cold air to move in. So you could see up in the northeast, like around New York and beyond, it's rain where the green is. Backside of it all, the blue color, that indicates snow. I mean, this has gone from warm, rainy weather to quickly turning into freezing cold conditions here. The darker colors, that's heavier snow, and then you see light snow back toward the Midwest and Ohio River Valley. So for us, yeah, the cold air has moved in. We'll have sunny skies for tomorrow, but then the futurecast does show a little cloud cover moving into the skies here on Wednesday, especially during the afternoon hours. We'll look for that, but in the meantime, just cooling down right now. Our temperatures mid 40s as we check things out right now. And as we take it through these overnight hours, we're going to be dropping down into the 30s. Now, not quite to the freezing mark, but I tell you, it will be awfully close. If you're a little farther north or if you've got anything that's sensitive to cold, you might want to take care of it just in case, because we're going to go with a low of about 35, but that's awfully close to that freezing mark. And then during the day tomorrow, after the chilly start here, we'll end up warming up only into the 50s, so just high temperatures getting up into basically the middle 50s for tomorrow. So look for that. A little bit warmer by Wednesday, but still a cold morning. Now, Wednesday morning, we are looking at a light freeze around the area, so look for freezing temperatures there. But we start to warm up later this week. Late week, it's 70s, and then into the weekend, high temperatures Saturday and Sunday will be running there in the 80s or a little bit above 80 degrees, it looks like, with lows in the 50s. But it is a nice-looking weekend ahead.
The Werner Kia Tallahassee 500 is back, and it is bigger than ever. Rebate discounts up to $15,000. Rates as low as 0%. No payments for up to 6 months. Werner Kia is the #1 volume Kia dealer in Tallahassee year after year. The all-new Telluride and K4 hatchbacks are here. Reserve your test drive today. Nobody beats a Werner Kia deal. Nobody. It's Werner Kia Tallahassee 500. Visit us at wernerkia.com.
An interesting discovery made by the Leon County Sheriff's Office, where officers say they found these cows and where they are now. Take a look at these photos from the Leon County Sheriff's Office. As you can see, 2 cows were found wandering on Sunday. Officers say they were located along power lines between Evergreen Hills Road and Salina Court. Their owners were located and they brought them back home. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
Chilly morning tomorrow with those lows starting off in the mid-30s, and I can't wear a green tie tomorrow because of the green screen, Melanie.
I'm going to pinch you because, you know, if you don't wear green, you get a pinch.
Yeah, I'll get it in there somewhere.
All right, there
somehow.
you go, your socks. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please come back and join us tomorrow night on Fox 49 News at 10.
You were thinking socks.
Socks, there you go, because that way the green screen won't see it.